There are people who turn 60 and feel like their home has become a small battlefield with things to do in every corner, but no longer the strength to do them all. Then, there are others like Mrs. Eleanor, who surprise their children and grandchildren every time they visit her home, is always clean and tidy, yet she seems unhurried with time to make tea, read a book and smile gently when it rains. It's not because she hired a cleaning service, and it's not because she has some magical secret. It's simply because she follows a system made up of 6 small habits each day. Takes only about 18 to 20 minutes. But the results keep her home warm, clean, and most importantly, give her a sense of control over her life. In this video, we'll go through all 6 habits Eleanor has followed over the past 6 months. One by one, you'll see why each habit works so well for older adults, why they're easy to do, not tiring, don't require special tools, and why they don't just tidy the home, but also lighten the heart. We'll begin with a small habit right after waking up. Then we'll take a light step into the evening, learn a way to handle papers so they never get lost, explore a smart kitchen strategy, try a method that picks up 10 items a day, and finally create a ritual to tidy one small corner every Sunday. If you've ever felt tired of cleaning without end, or felt like your home gets messy even when you're not doing much, what Eleanor shares might help you look at your space differently. A feeling that you can still take charge of where you live through small, steady steps. This video isn't about minimalism or turning your home into a hotel. It's about making sure your space reflects who you really are, peaceful enough and with room to breathe. Before we begin, if you find this helpful for yourself or someone you love, please take a second to subscribe to the channel, leave a like or drop a quick comment. Your support is what keeps us going and sharing more meaningful content. Thank you for being here with us. Now let's move on to the first habit. Habit 1. 5 minutes in the morning. One touch, tidy all day. Eleanor used to start each morning feeling behind. There would be crumbs on the dining table from the night before, sticky notes. Scattered near the kitchen, a magazine from yesterday, sitting where she planned to make her coffee. It wasn't that she didn't want to clean. It's that every morning she already felt like the house was one step ahead, and she was always trying to catch up, until she tried a new habit, very simple before making tea, before even turning on her phone or the TV. She set a timer for exactly 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, she did one thing only. Through the kitchen and living room, looked at anything out of place, and took one action per item. If it was trash, she threw it away. If it had a home, she returned it. If something needed to be dealt with later, she placed it in a small basket by the table, so it wouldn't sit in her line of sight. She called it the one-touch rule. Touch once, decide now. No setting it down to deal with later. No piling things up, thinking I'll get to it in a minute. Because for older adults, that minute often turns into a rainy afternoon, a sore shoulder or a phone call that makes you forget after just 1 week of doing this. Eleanor noticed something strange. Her house looked tidier. Yes, but her mind felt clearer too. She no longer wasted time looking for the TV remote. She didn't feel annoyed about having to clean before she could cook. Her eyes weren't constantly bumping into clutter. Her mornings began calmly, gently. And she said the thing that surprised her most wasn't the clean kitchen. It was the way she felt walking through it. A kitchen that was already ready a morning without a burden. If you've ever walked out of your bedroom and immediately felt surrounded by mess, Try this 5-minute one-touch rule. You don't have to tackle the whole house, you just need to own the first moment of your day. And sometimes, that one moment is enough to change the tone of the entire day. Where do you usually feel the most cluttered in the morning? Is it the dining table, the sink, or that one chair in the living room? Leave your answer in the comments that might just be the place you try your first habit tomorrow morning. Habit 2. Evening gratitude walk. Clearing the mind before sleep. Every evening after a light meal and a cup of herbal tea, Eleanor picks up a small basket and begins walking slowly around her home. She doesn't call it cleaning. She calls it her gratitude walk. There's no fixed time, but it's usually around 7 p.m. when the light softens and the home begins to slow down. Eleanor moves gently step by step, never rushing. She glances at the chair in the living room, folds the throw draped over it. And as she does, she thinks about the book she's been reading and feels grateful that her eyes are still sharp enough. She enters the kitchen, wipes the countertop, picks up a leftover bill, and smiles, remembering the sweet vegetable soup she made earlier that afternoon. In each space, instead of just tidying up, Eleanor takes a few seconds to feel thankful for one thing in that room. Sometimes it's a fresh flower vase. Sometimes it's the chair she bought for herself after retiring. Sometimes it's simply the quiet she no longer finds anywhere else. She says the house doesn't magically stay tidy. It's because each day she tidies a little, but with a different mindset, not to fight the mess, but to cherish the order she's maintaining. This habit takes no more than 10 minutes, but it makes her feel like she's saying goodnight to every corner of her home before bed. Just like when she was little and her mother would remind her to say goodbye to the day before sleeping. Eleanor doesn't just greet the day. She greets every place that walks through with her through another full day. On nights when she's tired, she just makes a small loop, picks up a few items, and smooths the tablecloth. But even those small actions bring a sense of closure to the day. If you've ever found yourself tossing and turning at night thinking about things undone or items out of place, try taking a slow walk around your home. Pick up just 1 or 2 things and think about something that warms your heart. Maybe it's the little lamp you installed yourself. Maybe it's an old photo. Maybe it's just the space where you just put the pillow back. It's not about tidying. It's a quiet thank you to the life that's happening inside your home. What time of day do you think would suit this habit for you? Before dinner, after watching TV, or right before heading to bed? Share with me in the comments. You might just inspire someone else to start their gratitude walk tonight. Habit 3. One-touch paper rule. No more mess, no more worry. Eleanor used to have a stack of papers on her dining table that stayed there for days. Sometimes bills, sometimes magazines, sometimes a note from her last doctor's visit. Every time she needed something, she'd shuffle through piles sighing because she couldn't find the most important one. She used to have a box labeled temporary, but once things went in, they never came out. Until she made one small change. She placed a small wooden tray on the kitchen counter, a magazine basket beside the sofa, a simple 4-pocket file folder, and a recycling bin near where she usually opened mail. Then she made a promise to herself. Every piece of paper gets touched only once. When the mail arrives, she stands right by the trash and makes a decision. If it's trash, it goes. If it needs action, it goes in the tray. If it needs to be kept into the file folder. If it's for reading, into the basket. Just 4 choices. No complex categories. No saving it for later. No stacking. And the strange thing is, after just 1 week, the dining table was no longer a paper dump. The file cabinet wasn't a mess. Old magazines were shared with the nearby library. And she knew exactly where everything was. More importantly, she felt she had regained a sense of control that had been lost to scattered scraps of paper. Papers may be light, but when spread everywhere, they quietly whisper that nothing is finished. When Eleanor learned to touch once, she also learned to finish a task. No delaying, no piling. Just do one small thing and let it go. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by paper, confused about where to put bills, or missed an appointment because a note got stuck in an old calendar, try what Eleanor did. Set up 4 places where paper can land and move on. And promise yourself, 1 touch per paper. You'll find that the real relief isn't just in a tidier house, but in a mind no longer pulled by undone tasks. Are you currently holding on to scattered papers? If so, which spot overwhelms you the most? Is it the dining table, the entryway, or the kitchen counter? Share it with me in the comments. Who knows, after today, you might start touching once and letting your papers find their proper place. If you find yourself nodding along with these small habits, you might want to check out another video on this channel. It's called 20 Items Seniors Can Instantly Declutter to Make Their Homes Lighter and Easier to Live in. In that video, I broke it down room by room, from the living room and kitchen to the closet, so you can start easily even with just one small thing. No need to rush, no need to do a lot. Just remove 1 unused item a day. And soon you'll see each corner of your home and your mind begin to brighten. You can find the video at the end or tap the suggestion card on the screen now. Just give it a watch. From one little thing you let go of today, you might begin a new journey lighter and easier to breathe in. Now let's move on to the next habit. Habit 4, Smart Kitchen Cleaning. A lighter dishwashing strategy. Eleanor used to have a habit she now calls a familiar mistake. She'd cook a simple meal, but end up using 3 pots, 2 bowls, and a sink full of spoons and ladles. After eating, instead of resting, she'd find herself standing alone in front of a mountain of dirty dishes, and aching back-tired feet, and wondering why she had to wash so much for such a small meal. Some days she even avoided cooking just to skip the cleanup. Until she changed one thing. Not by washing faster, but by thinking differently how to reduce dishes before she even starts cooking. The first solution was to choose fewer items. A mixing bowl that could also serve. A cutting board should be washed immediately after use. A pan lined with parchment so it didn't need scrubbing later. The next habit was preparing warm soapy water before she started cooking. While waiting for the soup to boil or the vegetables to steam, she'd rinse knives, spoons, and cutting boards. By the time she finished eating, only her plate and spoon were left. But what changed her kitchen the most came from one simple idea. She picked one personal set of dishes just for herself. 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 pair of chopsticks. Pretty lightweight and easy to hold, she used only that set every day. Use rinse, dry, done. No stacking, no waiting. Because when you use only one, you never create a pile. It sounds simple, but it worked wonders. She no longer felt like she had to wash dishes because there weren't many to wash. The kitchen felt lighter. The sink was never full. The counter is always clean. She said that when the kitchen is light, the heart is light. And when your heart is light, you feel like cooking, like eating at home is a joy, not a chore. If you've ever looked at a full sink and sighed, or felt tired standing there after a long day, try what Eleanor did. Select a tidy and cheerful personal dish set. Use it. Wash it right away. Don't let it pile up. And if possible, line your baking tray reheat with non-stick tools and wipe the counter after cooking. Small actions done daily can turn your kitchen into a place you want to come back to. Now let's move on to another habit short, but it might just change how you see your room each evening. It's about picking up exactly 10 things. Habit 5. Pick up 10 items at a time. Just enough to notice a difference, not enough to feel tired. Some days Eleanor felt like her home was quietly messy. Not chaotic, but little things were out of place everywhere. A book resting on the arm of the sofa, reading glasses on the dining table, a cardigan draped over a chair, a few items left behind by visiting grandchildren. None of them was truly big, but all together they stole the calm from the room. She used to try tidying everything at once, but often got halfway through before her back or knees started to ache, leaving things unfinished again. Until she tried a simpler way. Twice a day, once after lunch and once after dinner, she gave herself a limit. Just pick up exactly 10 things, no more, no less. She carried a small basket, took a walk through the living room and kitchen, looked around and counted out 10 items that were out of place. Each item she picked up, she counted. If it had a clear home, she put it back right away. If it didn't, she placed it in the basket to sort later. It took no more than 3 minutes, but every time she could see the room change. Not because she cleaned a lot, but because those distracting bits were gone. She said the reason she kept up with this habit was the number 10. Small enough not to feel like a burden, big enough to make a real difference. And when you know it's only 10, you don't put it off. You might even enjoy counting them like a little game. Some days she found a lost earring behind the table leg, or an old card tucked into a stack of papers. Picking things up wasn't just cleaning. It became a walk through memories. If your home never feels too messy, but never quite tidy, either try Eleanor's 10-item habit. Pick up 10. Put them back where they belong. Count them. And if you slow down for a few minutes, you may feel yourself becoming a little more organized too. No need to clean the whole room. No need to clean all day. Just choose one time of day, one small basket, and the number 10. Start in the room where you sit the most. The living room, the dining area, the entryway, the places that gather small clutter. Try it and share how it feels after your first 10. Did it bring you joy? Did your home feel different somewhere? Tell us in the comments. You might be the one who inspires someone else to start with just 10 today. Habit 6 Sunday, 15 minutes. Deep clean one corner. No need for perfect. For many years, Eleanor spent every weekend cleaning the traditional way. Every Sunday, she began with a long to-do list. Wipe the cabinets, scrub the kitchen, clean the bedroom, check the fridge. But she never managed to finish it all. Sometimes she got tired, sometimes her knee gave out halfway through, and almost always she ended the day feeling incomplete. Until she chose a different way. Each Sunday, instead of doing many tasks, she picked just one small corner and gave it exactly 15 minutes. One day, it was the spice drawer. Another day, the top of the fridge. Another, the sewing box. She set a timer. For 15 minutes, she did as much as she could. Took things out, wiped them clean, put them back, and tossed anything she no longer needed. When the timer rang, she stopped. No extra tasks, no lingering. She stopped. Drank a glass of water and wrote a simple line in her notebook. Today, this corner is tidy. And the amazing thing was, After a few weeks, she looked around and saw that every spot in her home had been touched. No corner left forgotten, no place that made her sigh whenever she looked at it. And she realized she had done it not because she was stronger, but because she had chosen a lighter way. If weekends feel exhausting from endless chores, try Eleanor's method. Choose one small space. Set a 15-minute timer. Do what you can, then stop. Write down what you cleaned. Next week, pick a new spot. After a few months, you'll have gone through nearly the whole house without a single day of burnout. Maybe you'll start with a kitchen drawer, a nightstand, or an old medicine box. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. And if you're already thinking about that first corner, leave a comment with its name. Just one sentence is enough to help you remember. And enough to show someone else that you're also on the journey toward a lighter life. Eleanor isn't perfect, but she chose a way of living that suits her at this age. 6 small daily habits, no heavy lifting, no long hours, but step by step they turned her home into a place truly worth living in. From the 5-minute morning start to the evening gratitude walk. From touching papers only once to the low-effort kitchen routine. From picking up exactly 10 items to deep cleaning one corner every Sunday. Each tiny act adds up to a cleaner house, a clearer mind, and a life no longer weighed down by little things. This video isn't about having a spotless home. It's about creating a space where you can breathe, slow down, and feel proud to welcome others without hesitation. If even one of Eleanor's 6 habits made you feel lighter, choose it and try it this week. No need to do them all. Just one small thing done regularly. Thank you for watching to the end. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment so we know you're there. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next video.